Today we're going to be installing the rock hard rear steel bumper. Well, good morning everybody and welcome back to Robmotive JT. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and smash that button right now. You might remember we did install the aluminum version here on the front, and this is the matching counterpart for the rear. Again, this one was aluminum, this one is steel, and the weight of that one is?
The front one's 37 pounds, this one's 87 pounds.
Yeah, so a bit of a difference.
Yeah.
Now, what we're going to do, of course, is we're going to remove the rear bumper on his. You can see right now. We're going to retain the hooks on the back, the tow hooks. And then we have to change around a little bit of the electricals, the plug on the back, also the sensors. There are 4 back here. So we're going to get the Mojave up in the air and see about getting this bumper off. Okay, we've got it up in the air. First thing is there are 3 connectors under here. If you can see, there's one right there, and then one right here in the center, right there, that's the trailer. And then right down there, if you can see through, there is a third. So first off, need to disconnect those. Then, as far as bolts go, you can see there are 2 right here. Those are behind the license plate. And then if you come over here on the side, there are 2 here, and matching on the other side are 2 more. And that should free up the bumper. Okay, we've got the bumper off. You can see it laying there peacefully relaxing on the floor. And here's the new one, all scared and afraid of what we're going to do to it next. What is next?
Next, we start taking the wiring out of the old bumper, because all of the wiring for everything, the lights, the trailer connector, they all have to, that wiring has to go on that bumper.
On the new bumper.
So you can connect it back up, and then you've got lights and trailer and etc.
Okay, well, I'm going to go inside and sit in the air conditioning.
Good plan.
Okay, words of wisdom. Here's a little tip for you from Randall on taking out the sensors.
Okay, if you've got a vehicle with sensors, you look down in there and you want to just unplug this. You really don't have to. That can stay plugged in. There are 2. You can see one here, and they're directly across from each other. They're kind of wider. And they have to go out, and then it'll just slide out. In the factory video, they just show them out. They really don't show how they got them out. And I'm sure if you take them out every day, you know exactly what to do. But for those of us that this is the first time, it's different.
Exactly.
So anyway, but if you'll pry that back, pry the other one back, it just pops right out.
Nice and easy. Okay, now starting to transfer things over. Randall is putting in a bracket that comes with the kit so that we can put the hitch plug unit back in. You can see here, show you from the front, just a little cover that allows you to, in essence, snap that harness or connector back into the bumper.
The plug, yeah. If you don't have a trailer towing kit, it's just got a plate that just covers it. And this just goes in.
Oh, I heard something. Oh.
Now it holds.
Now let's take a look from the back. You guys can see.
Little metal clips have re-grabbed.
Check it out right here on the sides. Looks like it was meant to be, huh?
Just like it was on the factory.
Awesome. So what's next?
Next, let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and put the sensors back in. Then I've got to remove the, Meredith reminded me that there's lights on that I need my license plate. So I'm going to go back and pull those out of that. They come out of a cup and then they just snap in.
Okay, to put the sensors in, they've provided these little, what do you want to call these, inserts?
Inserts, yeah.
They go in these
Bushings,
holes.
Inserts.
Bushings, I like that. They go in these holes, maybe like so, we shall see, and the sensors then connect in like so. Let's take a look.
You've got a wider side on one side. That's going to need to fit just like this. So this goes through this way.
Nice.
And then this should just push in like this. Then there are two sizes of little, what they call latches, that you use to lock this piece in. And there's a thicker one and a thinner one. And they say that most of theirs are going to use the thinner one. It's all going to depend on the thickness of your material. This is 1/4 inch thick. That's fairly thick, so it's going to be the thinner to lock it in. And it just slides like that. And now that's locked in.
Okay, next up is mounting the license plate lights into the brackets. Or not actually brackets, really the openings. It's a built-in little area where it can snap right in. You can see the one is installed over here already. And we'll show how this one goes in, which is...
It can only go one way. This notch fits in that notch on the bottom.
Okay.
And so it's going to go like that. It just edge that connector and it just literally snaps into place. We are now to the point that we can go ahead, just because it's out and easy, go ahead and plug in the license plate light plug, which is this little rascal right here.
Okay.
Okay, you can see the sensors are already plugged in.
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead and plug that in. It should just go one way.
All right. Look at how easy that was.
And then that one goes in. Right now those are in. The two connectors that are left are the ones that go on, they're attached to the frame. And then there's the connector that plugs back into your trailer harness.
Wow.
So we're now to the point that it's just the simple stuff.
So really, next up, I assume, would probably be those brackets that go onto the sides of the bumper underneath the truck.
It's got two lightweight little pieces.
Yeah.
They're about 5 or 6 pounds a piece that are going to attach to the frame. And there's 2 threaded holes for these 2 top ones. There is a separate bolt, this one, it's going to go through the bottom one through a link. And then these have nuts welded on, and you're going to come up later and attach here to these 2 pieces.
Let me show you right here. You can see these 2 threaded holes here, and then I'm assuming the other one is going to go through here, the long bolt, and then the bumper itself will attach to the bracket once it's located up here on the truck.
Yeah.
Okay, Randall's idea, which is a fantastic idea, is to go ahead and put a little bit of WD-40 on the threads, because we are going to be screwing these into new threaded slots, or nuts, whatever you want to call them. Here we go, ready? Make sure you watch this. Okay, I think I got half of it on myself.
Yeah.
That's okay. Okay, we've got the brackets up on and the bolts in. You can see there's one up here, one over here, right there, and then the long one across. They did not include or specify to put a lock washer on, but we decided that it should be there, so we did. It is a little long there with the lock washer on, a little short I should say, but I think it'll pull in okay. So all we have to do now is tighten that down, and then we'll be to bumper placement time, I believe. Okay, this is one of my favorite positions. You see, I stand back and film. It's time to put the bumper on. A couple of things. We did put some tape around the bolts just to hold them in place. Otherwise, you're trying to lift the bumper up there while trying to keep the bolts in place. This just makes it a little bit
And also the
simpler.
bushings that are on the inside, so gravity doesn't let them fall out if it tips.
Absolutely. Where it's going to go, if you check here, those bolts are going to go through these areas on the frame, or on the bumper holder, I'll call it, back here. And then we'll have to connect it under here to these brackets that we've gone ahead and put on.
And supposedly the main trick is keeping everything more or less level this way. And we're in business.
All right, we got her done. The bumper is mounted. A few things to point out. Let's turn to Randall.
Okay, first things first. Make sure when you're coming in with the cabling, there is a plate that comes up straight up on this thing that you really,
Right
it's
there.
tough to see. It's right here.
That's it.
Make sure that you get the cord on the other side of that from your bumper, rather than getting it on and then having to wiggle things around and get it up. Speaking from experience, it's tougher to do that way.
Yeah.
It would have been easier.
Yeah.
The other thing, when we were tightening things up on this side, these bolts tightened up, we got them tightened in real well, no problem. This side, there was something going on, they weren't fitting straight, so we used spacers, or sometimes referred to as washers. And there's 3 on the side, still have more, the bolt coming all the way through, it's up where it needs to be, but things aren't cross-threaded, which is kind of where we were headed. I could feel it, Rob could feel it, and neither of us wanted to go there. Other than that, everything has gone just great.
That's what it is. That's what it looks like. We'll get it down off the lift here in a little bit. Okay, we've got it down on the ground. You guys can see one more real quick look up here at the front, just for comparison. Here's what the front looks like. You can see, there you go. Now keep that in mind. We're gonna briskly walk to the back here, you know. And you can see what this looks like back here. Looks pretty darn sharp to me, and I love the orange accents that the tow hooks provide. Would be cooler, like Randall said, if they were actually shackles, but still, this is a pretty darn good look. I like these little steps that you can get in and out. You know, being a massive 5'9.5", I can see how those would come in handy. So everything lined up good.
One of us is 5'5" with a 28-inch NC, so.
The lines all came out great. To be honest, one thing we were concerned about on the side was this area here. We made the mistake of putting a level on here, and of course it looked like it was like this. But when you look at it, if you look at the line matching up with the fender here, it matches up and shoots right on across, and I think if it were actually level with a level, it would look weird like that.
And then if this wasn't, these lines match, this line match, but if this was kicked up, then this would be too tight in here.
Right.
So it would have been ugly.
Right. So I think it came out pretty good, but the big question is, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I like it.
You like it?
Yeah. This, believe it or not, this is going to help me out just because if the tailgate's down, I can't get on the tailgate without a step ladder.
Right.
I need a 2-foot step ladder to get up there.
Right.
With this, I can get my foot up there and pull myself up. So it's
awesome.
I think it works out great.
That is the install on the steel rock hard bumper for the Jeep Gladiator Mojave. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Do you prefer the original or the aftermarket that we have on there now? Also, real quick, I do have 2 additional channels. Rob Motive, all about my 2020 Toyota Tacoma, and my newest channel, Rob Motive Tundra, about my quest for the redesigned upcoming Toyota Tundra. Check them out, and if you're interested, please consider subscribing. Don't forget to click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. And do me a favor, smash that subscribe button on the way out. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there. Bye.